going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. So, man, I got a very controversial and challenging question to ask. A lot of times in life, especially if you're a believer of Christ, you know how you're tested, and the decisions that we sometimes make that go against the Spirit. And we know that we're making those decisions because you can tell when your flesh and your spirit, when they're at odds. You can tell. And a lot of times we find ourselves in these situations and, we don't have many tools to utilize to work through those situations. I, for one, have been faced with a similar challenge when acknowledging and knowing the weakness of the flesh. I acknowledge the fact that my flesh is weak, and I try to lean on the strength of God by prayer and finding scripture that will maybe cause some sort of divine intervention. And I know many of you can attest to the fact that there are some things that we struggle to, in a sense, tame. Certain temptations, certain triggers that we struggle, to tame. And, I've tried to find myself, or I've tried to utilize the scripture and utilize prayer to do the unthinkable, right? To have God intervene during those times when the flesh overpowers your will and you can't stand and fight. We all have those triggers, those things that if without God's divine intervention, we won't succeed, and the devil and evil will prevail. So I often wonder, and we're all familiar with the Bible's illustration of what we're wrestling against, that is not flesh and blood, but power in high places, great darkness and evil spirits is what we're wrestling against. So man by flesh alone has no chance. There has to be a spiritual intervention that takes place when requested, that allows us to defeat such principalities, such strong temptation and triggers. And there are many scriptures that we can utilize to arm ourselves with. But my question is this: in the event that one isn't strong enough to resist one's pleasures, strong enough to resist those triggers and resist the flesh, and you've asked God for deliverance, you went to God and asked Him to be your shield, you said those prayers, and yet lust, hate is still present in your heart. What do you do? What do you do when you've kind of done all you can and you're kind of giving into your guilty pleasures? That's my question. And I think a lot of us will at some point get to that crossroad and pray to God that He intervenes and prays for His deliverance. And I can't help but wonder sometimes if that intervention is done even through the action being completed, you know. But that's a question for another day. Just wanted to hop on here and make a video for y'all. I know I've been gone for a minute, been doing a lot of work, putting in a lot of work, and I don't want to stay going away too long from y'all, man. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. God bless everyone, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace.